John Harbaugh's first Giants draft may have sent the clearest message yet. Nobody is untouchable. That is what nobody is seeing right now. This is not just another post-draft reaction. This is not just fans arguing about picks. This is not just normal offseason noise. This is about the identity of the New York Football Giants getting tested in real time. A bombshell trade rumor involving Dexter Lawrence is now hanging over Big Blue. And when one of your absolute defensive cornerstones gets pulled into trade chatter, the question is not just, will it happen? The real question is bigger. Is Harbaugh building a fearless new era? Or is this gamble already going too far? Because at the same time, we have aggressive rookies already throwing shade at Micah Parsons, surprising draft steals, and even a former Giants quarterback making a career pivot nobody saw coming. This is not your father's Giants. This is chaos with a purpose. Let's be honest about where things stand. The holes are clear, and the pressure is brutal. The Giants are not in a position where they can afford a messy identity crisis. Jaxson Dart is the starting quarterback, and that means every roster decision now has to support his timeline. The offense cannot be rebuilt halfway. The protection cannot be inconsistent. The skill group cannot survive on flashes instead of weekly reliability. The offensive line still has to prove it can hold up when real NFC East pass rushers start hunting. The receiving room still has to show week-to-week rhythm. The run game still has to become something defenses respect, not something opponents tolerate while waiting for third down. And the defense has its own problem. If Dexter Lawrence is even being discussed in trade rumors, then the emotional center of that unit is suddenly unstable. You cannot build a physical team while your defensive foundation is surrounded by uncertainty. That is the tension. The locker room has to know what the plan is. The veterans have to know whether this is a reset or a teardown. The rookies have to know whether their confidence is backed by a real structure or whether they are walking into another giant storm. And this matters because Harbaugh's reputation is not built on soft transitions. It is built on standards, toughness, physicality, clarity. If that is the identity coming to East Rutherford, then the Giants cannot be vague about who stays, who goes, and what this team is actually becoming. The Giants can survive bold. They can survive aggressive. They can survive rookies talking spicy about Dallas. What they cannot survive is confusion. If Harbaugh's draft was bold, the organization has to make the next part clear. Because trading, or even entertaining talk around a player like Lawrence, changes how everybody reads the room. This is where it gets real. The draft may be over, but the franchise decision is just beginning. And that brings us to what just happened. The biggest story is the Dexter Lawrence trade rumor. And I want to be very careful with the wording here. This is a rumor, not a confirmed goodbye, not an official move, not something Giants fans should treat like the jersey is already packed in a box. But the fact that his name is even attached to bombshell trade speculation carries real weight. Because Dexter Lawrence is not just another player to Giants fans. He represents the kind of football this franchise claims to believe in. Interior power, defensive identity, Big Blue toughness, the idea that you win by making the middle of the field miserable. When a defensive cornerstone becomes part of trade chatter, the entire draft starts to look different. Here is the emotional translation. If a foundational defensive piece is in trade rumors right after the draft, then this is not business as usual. It means the Giants may be thinking bigger than fans expected. It means Harbaugh's influence may be pushing this roster toward a harder reset. It means the front office may be willing to take pain now if it believes the long-term structure gets stronger later. That is the uncomfortable part. Giants fans do not want to hear that nobody is safe. We want pillars. We want identity. We want the defense to feel like the defense again. We want to believe certain players are part of the foundation no matter who is coaching. But Harbaugh may be looking at this differently. He may not be asking, who do fans love? He may be asking, who fits the next version of this team? That is cold. That is ruthless. That is also how serious football operations sometimes work. And here is the extra tension nobody wants to sit with. If you keep Lawrence, then you are committing to him as a central piece of the Harbaugh era. That means the scheme, the leadership, and the locker room messaging all have to make him feel like part of the future. If you move him, then you are declaring that the new era is bigger than any emotional attachment. Both paths are heavy. Both paths tell the locker room something. This is not cosmetic. This is not just a rumor for clicks. This is the type of storyline that forces a franchise to reveal what it actually values. If Lawrence stays, the Giants need to make him part of the new identity loudly. If Lawrence goes, then Harbaugh is telling the entire locker room that the old emotional attachments are over. Either way, this changes the tone of the new era. And when you connect that to the rookies coming in, the whole picture starts to sharpen. The Lawrence rumor is the shock. The rookie energy is the response. Because if Harbaugh is going to reshape the Giants this aggressively, then the new players cannot walk in quietly. They have to bring edge immediately. They have to make the building feel different before the first real snap. That is why the rookie talk around Micah Parsons matters. The brief says Giants rookies are already throwing shade at the Cowboys star. And honestly, I love the attitude. Not because talk wins games. It does not. Not because a quote in April blocks a pass rusher in September. It does not. But because this team has been too comfortable being polite in the NFC East. Here is what that means emotionally. A rookie challenging Micah Parsons tells you the Giants are not trying to enter the division scared. Parsons is the kind of player who changes the entire mood of an offensive game plan. He forces protections to shift. He makes young linemen prove they belong. He turns small mistakes into drive-killing disasters. So when a Giants rookie is already bringing that confidence, it gives the building a different pulse. Now, let's be real. Confidence has to become performance. Talk has to become footwork. Swagger has to become film study. Edge has to become fourth-quarter execution when Parsons is across from you. The stadium is loud, and everybody knows the ball has to come out fast. That is the difference between energy and identity. Energy is a rookie quote. Identity is backing it up when Dallas tries to embarrass you. But I want that mentality. I want rookies who look at the Cowboys and do not blink. I want players who understand that the Giants cannot keep acting like they are waiting for permission to matter again. And this is where it connects to the bigger picture. Harbaugh's leadership is not supposed to create a quiet team. It is supposed to create a tough team, a fearless team, a team that can absorb chaos and turn it into identity. So yes, the Lawrence rumor is unsettling. But the rookie fire is telling you what kind of energy Harbaugh may be trying to inject. Big Blue is getting louder. Now it has to get better. And when you combine that with the draft steals and the former quarterback pivot, you start to see the full chaos board. The proof is in the combination. A bombshell trade rumor, aggressive rookies, surprising draft steals, a former Giants quarterback making a career pivot. That is not a quiet offseason. That is not business as usual. That is a franchise in motion. And here is the emotional translation. When this many storylines hit at once, it means the Giants are no longer drifting. They are choosing volatility over stagnation. That can be exciting. It can also be dangerous. Surprising draft steals give fans hope because they suggest the front office found value where others may have missed it. Rookie confidence gives the locker room energy because it tells everyone the new guys are not intimidated. The former Giants quarterback career pivot adds another layer because it reminds fans how quickly eras end and how fast the league moves on. That is important. The NFL does not wait for teams to feel ready. It does not wait for fans to process a roster change. It does not wait for a quarterback transition to feel emotionally clean. The league moves, and if you do not move with it, you become somebody else's easy win. But the Lawrence rumor sits above all of it. That is the storm cloud. Because draft steals and rookie confidence are easy to celebrate. They are fun. They are exciting. They make fans feel like the future is arriving. A Lawrence trade rumor is different. That asks fans to sacrifice comfort. That asks the locker room to trust the plan. That asks Harbaugh to prove he is building something real, not just shaking the table to look powerful. If Harbaugh is right, this becomes the reset this franchise needed. If he is wrong, this becomes another Giants rebuild that confused motion with progress. That is the line. And the Giants are walking it right now. Hot take. If John Harbaugh is truly building a new Giants identity, then he has to be willing to make one move fans hate. And I am not backing down from that. My prediction is this. Dexter Lawrence will not be traded this week, but the rumor will change how the entire locker room views Harbaugh's authority. That matters because sometimes the rumor is the message. Sometimes the league hears a name in trade chatter and realizes the new regime is serious. And the player I am putting at the center of this is Jaxson Dart. If Dart looks protected, supported, and confident, fans will forgive a lot. If Dart looks trapped inside another messy Giants experiment, then every bold move becomes evidence against the plan. I am also taking a strong position on the rookies. Keep the edge. Keep the attitude. Keep the Dallas smoke. Giants rookies should not be scared of Micah Parsons. If I am wrong, I will come back to this video and own it. But I do not think I am wrong. The Giants are choosing fearlessness. Now they have to prove it is not recklessness. Big Blue is back at the table, but this time, the chips are not small. That is the real story. Not just Dexter Lawrence. Not just Harbaugh. Not just rookie trash talk. Not just draft steals. The real story is whether the New York Football Giants are finally building a fearless identity, or whether this is another gamble dressed up as a master plan. Giants fans, pick a side. If Harbaugh is willing to shake up the roster this hard, is that exactly what this franchise needed, or is he playing with fire too early? No fence-sitting. If you are riding with Big Blue through every twist of this rebuild, you know where that subscribe button is. We break down every move, every rumor, and every decision that shapes this team. Go Big Blue.